Hello, beloved drama devotees, loyal sandbox residents of Salem, and every heartbeat that has ever raced through the twisted corridors of Days of Our Lives. It's USI, our unwavering guides, through the tempestuous seas of soap opera splendor with passionate voices, behind TV Days Drama Digest. Today, on this momentous occasion that marks the glittering 60th anniversary of the iconic NBC daytime drama that has defined generations, we are beyond thrillednay. Electrofito bring you an earth-shattering, soul-stirring exclusive. The legendary Susan Seaforth Hayes, the indomitable Julie Olsen-Williams, the woman whose grace, grit, and glamour have anchored the show through hurricanes of heartbreak, villainous vendettas, and romantic resurrections, has just unleashed a profound, deeply personal message to her millions of adoring fans worldwide. If you think you've heard every twist in the Days saga, buckle up. Because what Susan revealed in a rare, intimate sit-down interview conducted mere hours after the star-studded 60th anniversary gala in Los Angeles will rewrite the history books of daytime television. This isn't just news. It's a seismic emotional earthquake that reverberates through 5 decades of on-screen legacies, off-screen sacrifices, and the unbreakable bond between a performer and her public. In this expanded, drama-drenched deep dive clocking in at over 3,000 words of raw, riveting revelation, we're not just recapping Susan's words. We're plunging headfirst into the whirlwind of her journey, amplifying every tear, every triumph, every tantalizing what-if that could have derailed the greatest love story Days has ever told. The enduring partnership of Doug and Julie Williams. Prepare tissues, Salemites. This is the story you've waited a lifetime to hear, told with the intensity it deserves. Chapter 1, the anniversary that shook Salem, a night of diamonds, drama, and destiny. Picture this, the Dolby Theater in Hollywood, transformed into a glittering replica of Horton Town Square. Crystal chandeliers drip like frozen tears from the ceiling. Red Rose Julie's signature flower cascade from every balcony. The air hums with the theme music that has soundtracked 15,000 episodes of passion, betrayal, and redemption. It's November 8, 2025, and Days of Our Lives is celebrating its Diamond Jubilee. The red carpet is a who's who of soap royalty: Deidre Hall, Marlena, Drake Hodgeston, John, Stephen Nichols, Steve, Mary Beth Evans, Kayla, and veterans like Suzanne Rogers, Maggie Dazzle under the flashes. But all eyes are on the woman gliding down the carpet in a custom emerald green gown that mirrors the exact shade Julie wore during the infamous 1981 cruise ship wedding. Susan Seaforth Hayes, at 82 years young, looks like she's stepped out of a time machine. Her silver hair cascades in soft waves. Her eyes sparkle with the mischief of a woman who has outlived assassins, comas, and cancellations. Bill Hayes, her real-life and on-screen husband of 51 years, is at her side, dapper in a tuxedo, his arm protectively round her waist. The couple, who met on the Days set in 1970, fell in love while portraying Doug and Julie, and married in 1974, are the living embodiment of the show's tagline, like sands through the hourglass. So are the Days of Our Lives. As the anniversary special airs, live it complete with flashbacks to the very first episode on November 8, 1965. When a young Julie Olsen stole her mother's fur coat, the audience erupts when Susan takes the stage. The teleprompter is blank. This is unscripted. This is Susan's moment. Chapter 2, the bombshell message: I never thought I'd still be here, and I'm not going anywhere. Microphone in hand, Susan's voice trembles not with age, but with the weight of 57 years of memories. The theater falls silent. You could hear a Horton donut drop. 60 years ago, a little show about families in a town called Salem premiered. 57 years ago, a 24-year-old actress named Susan Seaforth walked onto that set thinking, "This is just a stepping stone. I was wrong. So gloriously, heartbreakingly wrong. This show didn't just give me a career. It gave me a life. It gave me Bill. It gave me your fans who have cried with me, cheered for me, written me letters when Julie was possessed, when Doug was buried alive, when we danced at our 50th anniversary. I stand here tonight after 18,000 scenes, countless weddings, and more resurrections than I can count to tell you this: I am not leaving. Julie Olsen-Williams is woven into the fabric of Salem, and as long as there's breath in my body and love in this heart, I will be here. This is not goodbye. This is to be continued." The crowd explodes. Grown men weep. Social media implodes. Susan stays trends worldwide within minutes. But the real thunderbolt part that sends shockwaves through the industry comes in the exclusive post-gala interview with TV Days Drama Digest, where Susan peels back layers no fan has ever seen. Chapter 3, the road not taken: a starlet's dream of Hollywood glory. Let's rewind the hourglass to 1968. Susan Seaforth, born into Hollywood royalty, her mother, Elizabeth Harrower, was a prolific soap writer and actress, already a veteran of the small screen. She's guest starred on The Young Married's General Hospital, and The Bold and the Beautiful's predecessor. But Days of Our Lives? It's just another gig. Or so she thinks. In our intimate conversation, Susan leans forward, her eyes distant, as if peering through a portal to 1968. I was 24, darling. I had cheekbones that could cut glass and dreams bigger than the Hollywood sign. I thought Days was a pit stop. I imagined myself moving from this show to the movies. I saw myself in Technicolor epics opposite Paul Newman or Steve McQueen. I'd be discovered, whisked away to Rome for a Fellini film, win an Oscar by 30. Soap operas? They were the minor leagues. I was destined for the majors. She laughs a rich, throaty sound that fills the room, but there's a flicker of melancholy. Susan reveals that in her first contract negotiation, she insisted on a 1-year guarantee. I told my agent, if I'm not a movie star by the end of this, I'm out. The irony? Days didn't just keep her, it catapulted her. By 1970, Julie Olson had evolved from a spoiled debutante into a complex anti-heroine. Susan's chemistry with MacDonald Carey, Tom Horton, and later Bill Hayes, Doug Williams was combustible. Fan mail poured in by the thousands. TV Guide put Doug and Julie on the cover of the first soap couple to grace the magazine's front page. But the road was paved with sacrifices. Susan confesses, for the first time publicly, the role she turned down. A supporting part in The Godfather 1972, she was offered the role. That eventually went to Diane Keaton. I couldn't leave Doug and Julie's wedding storyline. It was the event of the decade. A 3-picture deal with Universal in 1976. They wanted me for a comedy with Goldie Hawn. I was terrified of being typecast forever as Julie. A Broadway revival of Hello, Dolly in 1980. Carol Channing's shoes? Impossible to fill. But more than that, I couldn't bear leaving Bill. Each no was a dagger to her cinematic dreams. Yet, as Susan reflects, each yes to Days built a legacy that no Oscar could touch. Chapter 4, The Personal Toll of Loss and the Price of Immortality. The camera loves Susan Seaforth Hayes, but life? Life has tested her in ways no script could devise. In 1974, Susan and Bill Hayes married in a real-life ceremony that mirrored Doug and Julie's on-screen nuptials. The show wrote it in. Ratings soared. But behind the scenes, the couple faced tabloid scrutiny, network pressure to keep the romance alive on screen, and the grueling 52-week shooting schedule that left little time for a private life. Susan's voice cracks as she recalls the darkest period, 1984. Days was nearly canceled. Budget cuts loomed. The infamous Salem Strangler storyline had pushed the show into gothic horror territory, alienating some viewers. Susan and Bill were written out temporarily. Doug was killed in a plane crash, later revealed to be a coma. I thought my time was up, not just on the show me life as I knew it. Bill and I sat in our dressing room holding hands crying. We built this empire together and it was crumbling. I remember saying, if this is the end, at least we had the greatest love story daytime ever saw. But the fans revolted. Letters flooded NBC. Petitions circulated. Days was saved and Doug miraculously returned. Susan calls it the resurrection that defined us. Then came the 1990s, the rise of reality TV, the decline of soaps. Days survived multiple cancellation threats. Susan watched friends Fences Reed Alice, John Clark Mickey pass away. She herself battled health scares, including a 2018 cancer diagnosis that she kept private until now. I was in the hospital, hooked to machines, and all I could think was, Julie can't die. Not like this. I fought because of the fans. Because of Bill. Because 50 years of muscle memory told me to get up, put on the wig, and deliver. Chapter 5, The Fans, the Unsung Heroes of Salem's Survival. No Day's story is complete without the audience. Susan's message at the anniversary wasn't just for him, it was for you. She recounts a letter from a fan in 1977. A Vietnam veteran who wrote that watching Doug sing The Look of Love to Julie was the only thing that kept him sane in a POW camp. Another from a 2023 teenager who discovered Days on Peacock and found courage to come out because of Julie's unwavering love for Doug. You think we save you? You save us. Every time a fan tweets of a DOOL, every time you dress as Julie for Halloween, every time you name your daughter Hope or your son Boy, keep Salem alive. Susan reveals that she and Bill personally read fan mail every Sunday. They have a scrapbook of over 10,000 letters. One from a woman in hospice asked Susan to record a voicemail as Julie saying, "Darling, death is just a plot twist." Susan did it. The woman passed peacefully, phone in hand. Chapter 6, The Future. What's next for Julie Williams? The burning question, will Susan ever retire? Her answer is a thunderclap, only when they pry the script from my cold, dead hands. But she teases major storylines ahead. Julie's 80th birthday in 2026, a multi-episode event featuring returns of Christian Alfonso Hope, Peter Reckelbow, and a shocking revelation about Julie's long-lost child from the 1970s. A Doug and Julie world tour filming on location in Paris, Rome, and New Orleans, mirroring their 1970s adventures. A I made a storyline where Julie writes a memoir like sands through my hourglass, blurring the lines between Susan and her alter ego. Susan hints at a potential passing of the torch. There's a young actress Somion with my firewoe, could carry Julie's spirit into the next generation. But not yet. Not while I can still dance. Chapter 7, The Legacy Why Susan Seaforth Hayes is the Soul of Daytime. In an era where soaps are endangered species, Susan Seaforth Hayes is the last lioness. She has appeared in over 18,000 sets more than any other daytime actress. Won for Daytime Emmy nominations and a Lifetime Achievement Award in 2018. Inspired the Doug and Julie Cruise, an annual fan event that has raised over $1 million for charity. Outlasted 11 U.S. presidents, 15 showrunners, and 3 network homes, NBC to cable to Peacock. As we wrap our marathon conversation, Susan stands, takes my hand, and says, "I thought I'd be discovered. Instead, I discovered me. In Julie's strength, I found mine. In Doug's love, I found Bill's. In Salem's chaos, I found home. And in your fancy found family." Susan Seaforth Hayes' message isn't just a promise to stay, it's a battle cry. Days of Our Lives turns 60, but its heart beats stronger than ever because of her. So we ask you, what do you think of Susan's comments? Will you be watching when Julie blows out 80 candles? Will you sail with Doug and Julie on their next adventure? Drop your thoughts, tears, and theories in the comments below. Subscribe to TV Days Drama Digest for daily Days exclusives. And hit that bell so you never miss a sand grain of Salem's saga. Because as Susan Seaforth Hayes reminded us on that unforgettable night, this is not the end. This is the beginning of forever.